Hey, what's up guys, this is Liam or Weagle on ClickHeads back with a new video, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of the best and the worst heroes for Valorant, especially with Ranked coming out sometime later this week. We all want to know what the best characters to level up on are going to be, and with people already playing Pugs and Invitationals, I think it's a very good time to take a look and review at what characters you're going to want to pick when Ranked drops, and of course who the worst agent is in the game. Now, of course, when talking about power rankings, this will always change depending on the level of play. The good thing about a game like Valorant being so competitive is that it's going to be passed down from the higher ranks who you should or shouldn't be picking, but that doesn't mean that weaker heroes won't still be really good at some of the lower ranks. In fact, what other games have proven is that some of the weaker heroes are better than the better ones at lower ranks, based on their utility either being harder to outplay at a lower level, or maybe if an ability or kit is strong but easy to avoid when you know how, much like Raze, where she's been nerfed but people just didn't like dying to her, but that doesn't necessarily make her a good character. So with all that set, let's take a look at this tweet from the esports writer, who says the official Asian power rankings after the ESPN Esports Play Valorant Invitational are Sage, Breach, Brimstone, and Cypher. These four are interchangeable in the top four, and of course you guys let me know your power rankings in the comments, but most people that are really good at this game already would agree on these four characters. What is interesting is that I think Brimstone is never set into number one, but I think he's the one character you actually have to have. He's not technically the strongest, but his smokes are so powerful, they last forever. He gets 3 of them, and no one has anything even near that good. Now, the thing you're going to notice about these top 4 is that they generally just have the most utility in the game. They all have either stall capabilities on defense or really strong offensive abilities. And even though Riot initially told us the abilities wouldn't be insanely strong in this game, they are definitely a bit better than CSGO's utility. Even though they are flashes and smokes, they're generally either stronger on cooldown, free, or you just get more of them. So these 4 characters I think will remain on top for a very long time unless another character comes out or there's some serious changes to these agents. Now the next 3 are always Sova, Phoenix, and Omen. These are also interchangeable. I personally prefer Phoenix to all of these, but Sova gets insane usage at high levels of play, whether it's following up on his arrows or some cheeky use of his ultimate that you've not seen yet. Which brings us to our bottom 3, who have the least utility, but what's interesting, these are some of the most popular characters in the game, especially Raze and Jett. Now, of course, Raze got nerfed, but that didn't do a whole lot to her anyway. I think we all came to the conclusion that she was never that good. She just doesn't feel good to die to, especially since her abilities seem open and free to die to all of the time. Who's been C4 rocket launched? You didn't like it, did you? Well, Viper, even though she has got some smoke utility, it's all on her resource meter, which is hard to manage, and of course when you set her wall, it's there for the rest of the round and you cannot move it. One smoke versus Brimstone's 3 just isn't going to weigh up. In fact, if you try and put Viper's kit up against any of the other big utility heroes, you can see why she's in the bottom 3. Now, this is where it gets a little controversial, because I personally think that Jett is the weakest character in the game. In fact, all of us on this channel believe this. When my friends Eddie and Frito were playing the alpha, I told them that I really wanted to play Jett because she looks really cool, and she is, right? Well, we all love Jett. How many times do you get into a game on Valorant right now and you have Jett, Phoenix, and Raze on your team? Because they're just fun to play. Well, I was told that she was really weak, and I thought when I got into the game, you know, I'll be able to use her kit to get kills in cheeky ways, but it's just turning out that Jett doesn't have the utility required to be a top tier pick in this game. Her smokes are okay, but they just don't last long enough, and most of her movement tricks are on other characters that have extra utility. I mean, being able to get to high ground can be done by Sage with her wall, and she can get her whole team there. Omen can teleport there, and there's all this other utility to weigh up in the game. Think about it like this. We mentioned that the abilities are like CSGO's flashes or smokes. Well, in CSGO, you can also boost up to locations by jumping on a friend's head to get an advantage over the enemy, much like in this game. But if you imagined in CSGO, one character could get there without the use of their teammate, but then they never got flashes or smokes. That's pretty much where Jett is at currently in the game. Now, the one thing she does have is being able to move and shoot in her ultimate, but she doesn't get it very often, and the game's proving that the first shot accuracy is so high anyway, you can pretty much move and shoot with the guns at times, especially when you're walking. Jett doesn't actually do anything special in the game, which is why she's at the bottom of most people's list and at the very bottom of mine. But with that said, she's really fun and really cool to play, and if you've seen any of the Reddit clips and the crazy cheesy kills she can get away with, whether it's lying behind people at the start of the round or dashing into a smoke and up onto a box without anyone seeing it, is just undeniably some of the most fun things you can do in the game. So right back to the start of the video, is going to depend on your level of play, and some god aimers will make it to the top of the leaderboards with Jett. But I think most of us peasants, especially me and my friends, even if I manage to get high on the leaderboards, it will never be with this character because the utility she has versus others simply isn't good enough. With that said, the last thing is, what if they buffed her a little bit to make her better? Because I think she's in the most need of it out of most of the characters. If you made her smokes last 2 seconds longer, she'd instantly be insane. They would allow her team much more time to get to the site, and for all we know, pro players may be able to utilize this in her current state. If you give her more jumps or faster ones or make it more silent, she's just Omen, but better than at that time too. So if you have any ideas on how you'd like to see Jett change, let me know in the comment section down below, and of course, let me know your power rankings and reasonings for them. The last few weeks have been insane, guys. We're nearly at 25,000 subscribers, so thank you very much. Be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed the video, as it does help us out and lets us know you're enjoying the content, and you're going to want to hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you get notified when our videos go live. Be sure to have a great day. As always, take care and peace, people.